right? See, Y-bus formation is, you can form the Y-bus by using two methods. First one is by using singular transformation, and the second one is by using direct inspection method. So you will have two methods. The first one is singular transformation that we are going to discuss here. And later, we are also discussing about the formation of Y-bus using direct inspection method that will be used for the next chapter, that is load flow analysis or power flow analysis, right? Now, to form the Y-bus using singular transformation, you require the information regarding the definitions. Various definitions we have covered in this particular topic. So, see the content that I am going to show you here. First of all, you require a graph. So, you have to draw a graph just by seeing the network of the power system. Okay. Later, we are going to see how we are going to draw a graph. Sometimes directly a network is given to you, and by using that network, you can able to draw a graph from that network. Or sometimes directly a graph is given to you, right? Now, in a particular graph, you will have the information regarding elements and the nodes. Already we know that the element is nothing but a straight line segment which connects two nodes. The linear graph is shown in the, just wait a moment. Now see here. So here you are not seeing a very clear figure. So for that purpose, I'm going to draw here. Just please wait. I'm going to draw a linear graph here. So this is the information of the graph, which can be drawn from the network itself. Please try to understand, which can be drawn from the network itself. Network means, how do you get that a power systems network? That is also very important here, right? See, only for your purpose, I'm going to draw again the network here. Right? Okay. Now, so nodes, node 1, node 2. This is node 0, reference. So how many nodes are there? How many nodes are there? By excluding that reference node, you will have 4 nodes. So those nodes are represented with, so node 1, node 2, this is node 3, this is node 4. See, in the last class, I have not explained by considering this example. So as far as the some requests are considered, I have again considered some simple example for explaining the Y-bus formation using singular transformation, right? This is only for your sake. Already we have completed this, but anyway, based on the requests received for some of your friends, again I'm going to draw this one. So this is straight line segment 7. These are also very important. These indications and the directions are also very important. Why? Because based on that directions only, we are able to obtain the element node incidence matrix and bus incidence matrix, right? So direction is also very important. right? So this is the network, a simple linear network or a graph. So which is directly obtained from the simple power system network. So in this particular graph, you will have total 4 nodes by excluding that reference node. By excluding that reference node, right? So that reference node is equal to 0. So how many elements are there? How many elements are there? So total 9 elements are there. Element is just nothing but simply a line segment which connects two nodes. Now see here, first element number 1. Element number 1 is connected in between first node and the reference node. Element number 2, this one. Element number 3, element number 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is element number 3, and element number 4, and this one is element number 2. Okay, so please try to draw this figure. Try to draw this graph. So from this graph only, now we are going to obtain, okay, the Y-bus formation by using element node incidence matrix, etc. Already we have seen all these things, but in the last class I have not explained the Y-bus formation by considering a graph. Now in this case, I'm going to explain the same concept, and I'm going to explain the same concept by considering this simple graph, right? So this is the graph, right? So this is just looks like this, but this is not clear in this one, right? Now you see here. So you will have some definitions. Please try to observe those definitions. Primitive network. Already we have seen this primitive network in the last class. Primitive network. The set of unconnected elements in a particular network is called primitive network. So you can form the equations of that primitive network by considering an impedance or admittance of that primitive network element. Okay. Next, a connected subgraph containing all the nodes. Now you see here, a connected subgraph containing all the nodes of a graph but having no closed paths is called a tree. Okay, so if you consider a graph, and in that particular graph, if you are not having any closed path, then you can call that as a tree. And the number of elements of a tree are called branches or tree branches. Okay, so the number of branches B that can form a tree are given by, so you can use this formula for obtaining the number of branches. Or you can also consider that as the number of buses or number of branches. You can call anyway. Okay, you can call that as anyway you like. See, we are not going to discuss these topics in detail. Why? Because already we have discussed in the earlier classes. Okay, in the earlier classes, but the intention is different. So in this way, in this particular topic, how we are going to obtain the trees, co-trees, and links, etc. All these things. So those elements of the graph that are not included in the tree are called links. Just wait a moment. Okay, now you see here, just now we have taken, a particular graph, and using that graph, first of all, let us draw a tree. So what is a tree and what is a co-tree? Now you see here tree. So in this particular case, you do not have any closed paths here. You do not have any closed path like this. Now you see here, see the closed path. See the closed path here. Now this is a closed path. This is a closed path. So suppose if there is no closed path here, you can call that as a tree. You can call that as a tree. So now you see here, you simply see here. So this is node 1, node 2, node 1, node 2, and this is node 3, and this is node 4, and this is reference node 0. Okay, so just by excluding that closed path, you can obtain a tree. You can obtain a tree. Now you see here, there is a separate element here. So element 1 is connected between 1 and 0, and element 2 is connected between 2 and 0. Element 3 is connected between 3 and 0, and element 4 is connected between 4 and 0. Okay, so this is tree. I can call this as a tree. And now what is code tree? So code tree is nothing but the closed path we have separated. The closed path we have separated. Now you see here, the closed path just we have separated. So this is called a co-tree. So the entire graph is the combination of tree and a co-tree. So tree, what is a tree? Tree is just nothing but which does not have any closed paths in a particular graph. If any closed path is there, obviously you can call that as a co-tree. So in this particular case, how many elements are there? How many elements are there? You will have total 9 elements. How many buses are there including reference buses? You will have 0. I mean including reference node, you will have total nodes is equal to 5. And how many buses are there? Obviously you can have number of buses are equal to m minus 1. So m is nothing but the number of nodes. If you exclude that reference node, you will get the number of buses. Obviously the number of links, link is also very important. See now what is a link here? Those elements of the graph that are not included in the tree are called the links or the link branches, or they form the subgraph. So they are not necessarily be connected. So which can be considered as a, just wait. Okay, which can be considered as a link. So how can you obtain the link? So if you take the difference between the number of elements and the number of branches. Murali garu cheppandi. Class lo unnanandi. Class lo unnanu cheppandi enti. Okay, but anyway, this is not necessarily learned for obtaining VIBUS formation, but you should know all these things. So this is the preliminary information you have to know for obtaining the VIBUS formation, but yeah, this is not necessarily included in your concept, right? So before going to the, first of all, what is you need to know what is a tree and what is a co-tree, what is a graph, what is an element, what is a node, what is a bus. Okay, so you should know all these things, right? Okay. So primitive network already we have seen. Primitive network already we have seen in the last class, right? Again, we need not worry about much. So primitive network, this is impedance form and this is in admittance form. Okay, already we have seen for an impedance network, impedance primitive network, you can have the equation V plus E is equal to ZA, and we have already seen how this equation comes from. So this equation comes from the primitive impedance network we have considered. Similarly, you can have this one, I plus J. So this is the total incoming current to a particular node, and this is the current which is flowing in that admittance element. Okay. Again, we need not discuss about all these things. Now, see here, bus incidence matrix. So you can have the information, how do we form the element node incidence matrix. So similarly, you can also obtain bus incidence matrix. So for to obtain the bus incidence matrix, see, this is also not required. But as far as this particular equation is concerned, later we are going to substitute. So in the last class, we have deduced some expression that y bus is equal to some A transpose into A transpose into Y into V. Already we have deduced this equation. So now we are going to substitute, Y V is equal to A into V bus. V is equal to A into V bus. So in that particular case, definitely you must know how do we get that A into V bus. So for that purpose only, I am considering this example. To explain you clearly and to understand this particular concept in clear, I have considered this example to explain you, right? Now you see here. So here for the specific system, that means we have taken some graph. Initially we have taken some graph and we have obtained these following relations for this particular bus incidence matrix. So in this particular case, you are having 9 element voltages. 9 element means 9 line segments have been connected in between two specific nodes, node 1 and node 2, node 2 and node 3, node 4 and node 1, etc. You will have total four number of nodes, and including that reference node, you will have total 5 nodes. By excluding that reference node, you will have only 4 nodes. So those 4 node voltages I am considering here as V1, V2, V3, V4. So specifically I am considering those 4 nodes by excluding that reference node. And you will also have total 9 elements. So element 1 is connected in between 1 and 0, node 1 and node 0. Element 2 is connected in between node 2 and node 0. Okay, please do remember that. Now VB1. So let us consider the first node voltage. So first bus voltage, that is equal to V1. Second bus voltage is equal to V2, and V3 is nothing but the third bus voltage, and fourth bus voltage is equal to V4. Now you see here VL5, VL6, VL7, VL8, VL9. What is B stands for and what is L stands for? B stands for bus or branch, L stands for link. So we have just talked about these two terms, link and a branch. So how can you obtain VL5 just by considering V3 and V4? Let us see how this comes from the diagram we have taken. Okay, now you see here. So the link 5 can be obtained. So VL5 is nothing but the difference between the two voltages. So V3 minus V4. Why? Because this is an element 5 that is connecting node 3 and node 4. So if you take the difference between these two node voltages, obviously you can obtain the link voltage 5. Similarly, link voltage 6. So VL6 can be obtained by taking the difference between V3 minus V2. Similarly, VL7, V1 minus V2. Now let us verify whether these equations are correct or not. Okay, you just go through this. Now see here. So just now we have written that VL5 is equal to V3 minus V4. VL6 is equal to V3 minus V2. VL7 is equal to V1 minus V2. So similarly, you can also obtain VL8 and VL9. So if you write all these equations, so totally you will have 9 set of voltages. That means 9 branches and 4 branches are available, 5 links are available. So if you combine all these equations and you can write in matrix form, you can obtain like this. Okay, so you can obtain the next one. Now you see here, V is equal to capital A into V bus. Now what is V? The total bus voltage or the total node voltages. Capital V is equal to, capital A is nothing but the element node incidence matrix, and V bus is nothing but the branch which consists of the combination of. So now you see here. So this is of the general form. Now in general form, you can write this as V is equal to A into V bus, where V bus are the matrix A. can be obtained by considering this one. So obviously we know this is the bus incidence matrix here. Capital A bar is different. A bar is nothing but element node incidence matrix, and capital A is different. That is bus incidence matrix. That is very, very important. How can you obtain bus incidence matrix? Just to eliminate that reference node in element node incidence matrix, you can obtain bus incidence matrix. That is the big difference between all these cases. Okay. Yeah, in the last class already we have obtained like this. So we have multiplied A transpose on both sides of this particular expression, so you can obtain this one. So I already explained the term how do you get A transpose into I is equal to 0. Now you simply see here for node he has explained that one also. For node 1, A transpose into I is equal to, so the number of incoming nodes are equal to the number of outgoing currents. Obviously, I10 plus I12 minus I31. So if you consider the node 1 of the graph we have taken, we proved that is 0. So in this particular case, he has mentioned that the radar should verify for all the nodes. How many nodes are there? You will have total 4 nodes. Okay, so A transpose into I gives the information of, see here. So which is the algebraic sum of the element currents are leaving the nodes 1, 2, 3. So if you apply KCL at 1, 2, and etc. up to 4, n number of nodes, you will have the information that carries that A transpose into I is equal to 0. So for at any node, that equation is satisfied. So similarly, A transpose into J is also recognized like this. Okay. Now, just wait a moment. Just wait. So finally, if you clearly see this, J bus is equal to, you can have this A transpose into J can be considered as J bus is equal to A transpose into Y into A into V bus. So this is the final J matrix. So bus. So finally, we want to get J bus is equal to Y bus into V bus. From the above equation, we can also write this as Y bus into V bus. Right. Now, what is Y bus? I am considering that Y bus as A transpose. This is the important formula. Now, this is important. Okay, so in order to explain how this formula comes from the expressions, I have explained all these formulas. So finally, Y bus using singular transformation can be considered as A transpose into Y. Y is nothing but an admittance into A. So please make a note. Y bus can be obtained by using singular transformation. Suppose in your university question paper, if you are asked to explain all these things, means you need to explain all these things. Definitely, I will give you this material to you to how to obtain the singular transformation. Okay. So when compared with the direct inspection method, singular transformation is somewhat difficult. So that's why for obtaining the load flow solutions or power flow solutions, we are following the direct inspection. So if you have been given the electrical network system directly, you can directly form that Y bus just by simply look at that network. You need not struggle much like the singular transformation. So that is the difference between the direct inspection method and the singular transformation, right? So please make a note. Please make a square box in this particular case. So Y bus is equal to A transpose into Y into A. Now we are going to do a single problem based on this particular topic, right? Now for that purpose, I'm going to share a whiteboard here just to do the problem with the use of singular transformation, right? Find the Y bus using singular transformation. Find the Y bus using singular transformation. Okay. Now, the graph is just now we have already drawn that graph. Again, we are considering the same graph here also. So just now we have drawn that, we have taken that graph also. Again, I'm going to consider the same here. Same, for the same graph, you are asked to determine the Y bus using singular transformation, right? See, node 1, this is 0, this is 2, this is 3, these are nodes. Okay, now the points are also very important here. So next one is this is 3. Directions are already the directions are also very important. Why? Because directed away, see, to obtain the element or to form the element node incidence matrix, we are substituting the values of either 1 or -1 or 0. So how can you substitute those values? For that purpose, we have assumed something. That means pth element is incident on qth node, and which is directed away and directed towards. These two are very important. If it is directed away, obviously you can substitute 1. If it is directed towards, means obviously you can consider that as -1. If there is no relation between the, or if there is no incident between the element and a node, obviously you can directly substitute 0, right? So that's why the directions are also very important here. Please do remember. So for the same graph, again, I'm going to draw the same here. Just to understand this particular concept, right? So please make a note here. For this particular graph, you are asked to determine Y bus. And you are also having one information, that is the admittance is already given. Admittance is also given. The problem has not been completed yet. So Y bus, this is the question. This is the question and this is the graph. So the information that what he has given is y is equal to dia. Dia means you need to consider all the elements are connected in diagonals. Dia means diagonal elements. These are all diagonal elements. So first one is y10, y10, y20, y30, y40, y34, y34, after that y12, after that y13, sorry, y23, y12, y23, next one is y24, y13. So this is basically a problem, y24, and y13. Now you see here the problem has completed now. So this is the information that he has been given, and you are asked to obtain Y bus using singular transformation. So the graph is already given, and the number of elements with the directions have been given, and along with that graph you are also have been given the admittance of this particular one. So dia y10, y20, y30, y40, y34, y12, y23, y24, y13. So he has mentioned dia means obviously you are indirectly given a hint that you need to consider all those elements are in diagonal form. So what is the size of matrix here? What is the size of matrix here? Size of the matrix. Nine by 9. Size of the admittance that VRD is given. So 9 by 9 means, so all the diagonal elements have been given. So you will have all the remaining elements are zeros, 9 by 9. That is also very, very important. Okay. So that's all for today. And remaining we will continue it in the next class. So please try to solve this. I will give you the hint also. So in order to obtain Y bus using singular transformation, so Y bus, the formula is, first of all, please make a note. The formula is also very, very important. This is very easy to solve it. This is very easy to, but you have some patience. Why? Because this is the matrix of very large size, 9 by 9, 4 by 9, 9 by 4, etc. So the only thing is you need to remember the formula that we need to use to obtain the Y bus using singular transformation. The formula is Y bus is equal to A transpose into Y into A. A transpose into Y into A. Okay. So this is the formula that you are going to use to obtain the Y bus formation. Now again, I am going to give you another hint. Now what is A here? What is A here? Bus incidence matrix. Please do remember. Bus element node incidence is different from bus node incidence. But in order to obtain bus node incidence matrix, you must have the information regarding element node incidence matrix. That means A bar. So first of all, you have to obtain A bar, including that reference node. And A can be obtained from A bar by excluding that reference node. That means the size of A bar is equal to E by N. E by N. Okay, so total number of elements are equal to 9. What is the number of nodes? Is equal to 5, including that reference node. But A is of size. A is of size E by N minus 1. E by N minus 1. E by N minus 1. Why? Because already we have excluded that reference node. Okay, so in this particular problem, Y bus can be obtained by multiplying A transpose with Y with A. Now here A is different, A bar is different. So in order to obtain A, first of all you need to obtain A bar. A bar is nothing but element node incidence matrix, and already you people have some knowledge to form the A bar element node incidence matrix. So you can form a table. Now you can consider the number of nodes in this direction, number of elements in this direction. Obviously you please try to obtain the connections. If there is any connection, obviously please try to identify whether it is directed away or directed towards. According to that, you are going to substitute 1 or minus 1 and 0. Okay, so after obtaining that, you can obtain A transpose. So first of all, A transpose, you please, now you see here. So number of elements are equal to 9. Number of nodes are equal to 4. Okay. Now, what is the size of A transpose? Size of A transpose is 4 by 9. 4 by 9. First of all, let me check is multiplication is possible or not. Multiplication of matrices is possible or not. First of all, you people are very much familiar with the concepts of matrices. If you want to multiply two matrices, then definitely the column of the first matrix must be equal to the row size. Okay. Now what is the size of Y? Size of Y is 9 by 9. What is the size of A? Size of A is 9 by 4. Is it not? So if you multiply 4 by 9 with 9 by 9, what you will get? 4 by 9. Later, if you multiply 4 by 9 with 9 by 4, what you will get? What you will get? You will get 4 by 4 matrix. So final answer must be in terms of, the size of the final answer, Y bus is equal to 4 by 4. Now these are the hints. So using these hints, please try to solve this problem. And tomorrow we will see whether your answer is correct or not. We will explain step by step. I will explain step by step. Later we will compare your answer with my answer. Finally, we are going to conclude this particular chapter with this case. Oh, sorry. We are also having one more topic, that is direct inspection, Y bus formation by direct inspection. Okay. Now I'm going to conclude the session now. If you are having any doubts, you please raise your doubts. If you are having any doubts, please raise your doubts.